That's right, problem, reaction, solution.
Yes, correct.
A lot of people consider the North American Union and the highway and everything in the realm of conspiracy still, and I find that such a shame. And to me, that's mind control.
Well, that is, but there are reporters out there like Lou Dobbs and other people who basically tell that the North American Union is a fact. And it is a fact. It's one of those things that'll be just imposed so quickly and so subversively that people won't even know the difference. One day it'll be there and they won't even know what happened. Just like 9/11.
The things that have happened since then that they got away with because of 9/11, which they, in my opinion, created themselves.
Exactly. All of it is a manipulation. Even the price of fuel in here in this country, where now it's $4 and over in many areas, absolutely ridiculous. If you remember back when the Hurricane Katrina hit the Gulf Coast, which of course we know that was an artificially created storm, I was overseas at the time, and I was watching a news show in Singapore, and there was on that news show a French fuel or utilities expert, globally known, who said that it was amazing to him that the price of gasoline following the hurricane went to $5 a gallon in many places in the country, because he knew that the U.S. had enough reserves in the United States to last for decades if they never produced another drop. So when I see what's going on now, and there's absolutely no reason for gasoline prices to be as high as they are, absolutely no logical reason, it's to force people into submission. And because the fuel prices are high, then automatically they can raise the food prices, and they can raise travel, airline tickets, and everything that you can possibly imagine is all connected to fuel, so they're going to raise the prices. People stay home, people don't go anywhere, there's economic crisis, companies fold up, and then what do you have? You have economic depression, which can then be remedied with the North American Union.
That does seem like plausible formula that's unraveling right now.
Yeah, it's totally controlled, manipulated.
The Vatican had a press release, I think a couple of weeks ago, talking about it's okay to recognize
aliens and UFOs. Yes, yeah.
And the UK also released their X-Files
right after the Pope's visit to the United States, I might add.
Well, I wrote about that in my news on my website.
Skywatchers, we're talking with Stewart Swerdlow. His website is expansions.com. That's the word expansions.com. And he's written many books, including Blue Blood, True Blood, which it's connected here with this Vatican press release.
Yeah. And in Blue Blood, I actually said that this is the scenario where conventional media, conventional religion will suddenly start to promote the idea of aliens, UFOs, life out in space. Because basically, to bottom line it, they create these disasters, then they have a staged alien invasion, then there's a savior race that comes in and says that they are our ancestors and created us. That sets everything for the second or the staged second coming of Christ, who then promotes the New World Order as his new holy empire. So, of course, and then they impose the New World Religion. So it's all fitting in just the way I outlined in Blue Blood and other books that I've written. And this is what's happening. Conventional media is now, promoting UFO stories like the one in Texas, the British pilots seeing the UFOs over Britain as they're coming in for a landing. All of these are now hitting conventional media. They're not laughing at the people who report them anymore. And then here comes this Jesuit priest from Argentina who writes an article called "The Alien is Our Brother," and that's promoted by the Vatican. It's brilliant.
This is the Project Bluebeam prep work.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, so they're really going to prepare for this. Airship, I know you wanted to mention some of the things you've uncovered in your research with aerosol operations and the 3D imaging and Project Bluebeam.
Yeah, I was just going to interject the fact that at this point, with all the decades of this aerosol spray operations, I feel that they've now accomplished what they wanted to do, which is if you look up on a clear day, you don't even see blue sky anymore. You see this haze. And I think this haze is going to be like a screen for when they do the Project Bluebeam imaging in the sky. They've accomplished their goal in that way. I mean, the aerosol, we know that they're doing weather manipulation with this aerosol activity, but I think it has far more implications than that. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yes, and if you know, in the last year or so, well, a couple of years, they've had these filaments that have filtered down to the ground after the chemtrails have been sprayed. And these filaments are part of an ionosphere network where they're creating a grid in the ionosphere so that the Bluebeam project can have a much clearer presentation when they transmit it from satellites. It will look exactly like there are weapons being fired on the Earth. There will be fleets of spaceships out there that people will see, and they will look real. The technology is so advanced that you will actually have sound. You'll be able to hear explosions. You'll be able to hear the craft as they pass overhead. It will seem extremely real.
Interesting. Actually, I happened to catch one of those filament showers on video back in October of 2006. It's posted on our website under Airship video page, and still frames from that video indicate that these were fibers that weren't traveling in a normal fashion, but they were traveling in pairs vertically with a small gap in between them.
Yeah, and this links up to create a 3D holographic image in the atmosphere.
I went to a show where instead of having a physical screen, they used water mist with which to project images.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly what it's based on, that type of technology.
And that was in Germany in 2000.
Stewart, in your book, Blue Blood, True Blood, you go into the various races and species that are visiting the planet, and you talk about the reptilians. There's something we've been capturing on video and film. All the skywatchers around the world have been capturing like the same thing. It's ubiquitous. It is the white sphere. Is often seen with the chemtrail planes or flying or maneuvering in and out of chemtrails. It's often seen right with the aerosol activities. So do you have thoughts on that?
Yeah, and they're also, by the way, not just white, but sometimes like an icy blue color as well. The orb phenomena has been captured on digital cameras for a few years now. But what we're seeing in connection with this electromagnetic web that they're putting in the ionosphere, really another reason they're doing it, besides the holographic images, is because the Earth then becomes a grid of electromagnetic and microwave pulse weaponry, and they can literally create mini vortices anywhere along this network or web in the atmosphere that opens up to other dimensions or the astral levels. So very often when we see these white or bluish-white orbs in connection with those chemtrails, what you're seeing is an opening into an astral environment or even into another alternate reality, and these orbs are intelligences that are coming through. When intelligence go through or pass through dimensional borders, they very often appear as white or bluish-white orbs. And that's what we're seeing here.
That's absolutely stunning.
Did they let everybody see them, or is it somebody who has certain vibrational capability?
Well, this you can see because it is physically there. Very often, these orbs may be vibrating at a vibrational rate that the human eye cannot perceive. Sometimes they can be captured then on camera. But yes, they can be physically seen.
But I know, like certain people like KSD seem to draw them to him, and he just has an amazing collection of